Hello, my Twitchers, and now I'm connecting to my live stream in YouTube. Hopefully, it doesn't take as long as it usually does, but I think I figured it out. First, I have to open this page here, and then it connects. Great. First, always open or get live on YouTube first, then come here in your OBS studio, which you cannot see. You see that? And then click on stream right here, specifically on YouTube. Okay. Let me move this to my second screen. Again, you know how this goes. You guys have seen this multiple times. I'll move it to my actual second screen. It's recording. The audio is good. Great. So guys, I just want to say I'm sorry. You know, I don't know if the word is I'm sorry. Excuse me for the ridiculous mumbo jumbo that I did earlier. Now I could close this actually because we're live. Looks a little different. All right. So excuse me for what happened earlier. Okay, so I was going through my, you know, the prompt and the response that I got from Gemini, right, in my last video, and then brain fog, right? I got lost. I want to say I got lost in the sauce, but I got lost, right? Because I decided to move away from this screen or the response chat box, and I went to a different tab or browser, right? I have two of these open. I have multiple of these open, right? So if I click here, I have the same prompt and same response. You see, it's Skill General AI Context. If I click on this tab, same thing. It's Skill General AI Context, right? Emotion skills, right? And then I have it here too. So I have it in three different places now. Here is a tab, right? A tab that comes here that says shared share tabs, something like that. So I X them all out. Basically, if you X them out and you close them, it means that you don't want to share the prompt window with other browser tabs, right? But I'm still sharing them because how do I know? So if I move all the way up here to connect the MCP server, and then I come back to one of these, and then I go back to where I moved to MCP server, it goes back to where this one is located. So if I move all the way up here, connect the MCP server again, and then I go over here, and it's currently in a different place, same prompt, same response. Then it goes back over here again. Why? As of right now, I don't know why. So that's where the confusion landed, because they're all connected. So wherever I am, I don't know which one is the one in control. For some reason, if I want to be up here, I go here, and then I go back, it goes back over here. So you see, I don't know which one of the two is connected. I just don't. But whatever's the case, they all want to start here, as if that's where I left off. And that's not, I don't feel like that's where I left off. See, okay, so here's the other problem. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, I think. I don't think I need a screenshot of this. But I'm gonna you see these words right here? I'm gonna take you to another place in the prompt chat, in the chat panel or pane, where there are identical words like this. And it's all the way up here. Let me show you. That's where the issue started, where brain fog, where I thought I had a brain fog, but it was that the identical words threw me off. So here it is. Motion skills. Okay, let me see. Feeds to your AI environment. It forces the AI to use professional animation JSAP and set strict performance guardrails so your animation never drops. No, that's not it. Let's keep moving up here somewhere. I know it's somewhere around here because I recorded it and I could go back to the videotapes and you will, okay, so it should be around here. Yes, here it is. You see, this part here is identical. Let me throw a screenshot before it goes back to that other And I'm gonna go ahead and open Paint. I'm just gonna click in here, Paint, and then I'm gonna paste it in my Paint um window. Look, right here. Okay, great. So you see? Okay, so now if I go to another one over here, okay, no, that's my Paint over here, right? Now it goes back to that specific place in the chat, um, in the chat box pane panel, and it goes back over here again. So when I go to that place where I believe I should be, it's gone. So now guess what? A motion skill, very identical. Now let me show you the paint, my paint application. You see? A motion skill, a motion skill. So that's where things got a little out of control. And it says part 2 here. And then if we scroll down here, it doesn't say part 2. But I believe that this is where I left off, more or less. I mean, I'm sure if we watch the video again, I mean, I don't want to drive you guys crazy with my mistakes, or should I say our mistakes, because we're following this whole video of that I'm creating now so we can learn how to code, right? So these are the mistakes that you're going to make over and over again, so get used to it. These are when it comes to dealing with prompts and the final output. In this case, we're talking about when you prompt them, he gives you an output. I forgot the word now. A response. Okay, great. All right, so let's keep moving. So we were here. This is a specialized type of skill prompt. It forces purely. We're talking about the skill prompt. Okay. This is a set of master instructions, role plays, role play, right? Or guardrail you give an AI so it acts like an expert in any specific topic. For example, you can build a copyright writing skill, a Python debugging skill, a cooking skill. It is just a system prompt saved in your environment to reshape how the AI thinks, right? So this is a specialized type of skill prompt. It focuses purely on web animation and front-end motion graphics instead of teaching the AI how to write copy or debug database errors. A motion skill teaches the AI browser rendering rules, custom easy in physics, and how to write highly performance CSS or JavaScript animation without causing page lag. So that's a key point, the page lag part. When you add all these 3D animations and transformations and all these different advanced techniques to your website, it creates lag because it's powerful um mechanism that you're adding to your website. So it's supposed to create lag, but since the motion skills is going to be created in such a way that it's going to make sure that that doesn't happen. So again, how to write highly performant CSS and JavaScript animation without causing page lag, right? So anatomy of a custom skill prompt, how to build one. When you create a custom skill for GitHub Copilot in your file, you build it using a structured pillar, row context, constraints, and trigger. Here is the exact formula to master how they work. Okay, so let me see how it functions, right? When you open Copilot VS Code and look at your local, right, the extension reads the workspace. Copilot silently scans your project file for. So here's what I'm going to do, because this can get quite overwhelming at times. I'm going to take all this, right, all the way from the top, and I'm going to actually copy everything, all right? We're going to go ahead and copy everything. Let me see. Oh, we lost it. There's a way to do this. Actually, I know how to do this. I'm supposed to drag it, right? Drag, and let's copy everything. Like that, it could become searchable, because right now it's not searchable. So this is going to help me. Did I copy it? let me go to my text editor and let me add it to, let's say here, Control Alt, Control V. Nope. What, did it work? Nope. Okay, let's do it again. Let's start from the bottom to the top. Bottom to the top is a little harder. So let me scroll all the way. Let me click all the way to the top. All right. And let's do it again. You have to make sure that you don't clear it again. This looks promising. Okay, great. Control copy. Whoa. Control Alt, Control V. Nope. It's not letting me copy it. Where did it stop? It stopped up here. That's why. All right, let's do it again. Maybe if I right click on it, right? Am I copy? Okay, there it is. So it should work now. Nope, not letting me copy or everything. So what if I do this? Click over here, copy. This is only one response though. Yeah, this is only one response. I was hoping I could copy all of them. I would have to manually go one by one and copy them. Let's try and see if I can copy a section by section. So like this. And then let's say we copy this section all the way up to here. Control copy. Yeah. Control Alt, Control V. Nope. Yeah, it's only letting me copy section by section. And there's no. Yeah, there's no option that it's giving me to copy anything. If I were to pop out and then maybe this will work better like this. Maybe, huh? Who knows? Just leave it up to here, script. Yeah, same thing happens. It's not letting me. Yep, same thing. So, I guess we only have one way of doing this, and this is one at a time. Let's copy the first one. And let's put this back to where it belongs. Let's go all the way to the top. Go over here, Control Alt, Control V, because it's quite difficult to manage these things. It is quite difficult to manage these things. And this is the second one. Hopefully this is not. Oh boy. Okay. And this is the other one. Yeah, this is consuming. It's not necessary to do with this. All right. So let's go back to where we left off now. How it functions. Okay, so this is where I believe we left off. It transforms the AI from a general developer into a high-end motion designer before you type your first instructions. So again, we read all this. No, this is the one that this is the wrong one. The right one is up here somewhere. Looks like it's all the way in the beginning. This one right here. So it looks like it's the same thing. Got lost again, people. Isn't this fun? Let me see. Yeah, they're all doing the same problem again. But we can look at the all the way down here. What happened to the code examples? Yeah, like here. That's a code example. This one is a code example. This one here's a code example too. This is the one I think we left off in. Uh, yeah, this is the one that I believe we emotion skill teaches the AI right rendering rules, custom easing physics, and how to write highly perform CSS and JavaScript. Great. So this is where we left off. Let me look at my paint. So this is definitely where we left off. Okay. So here's my thing right now. Here's what's going on. So I haven't created this. This is a MD file. It's called Copilot Instructions.md. And since it has it shares the location with GitHub, basically inside GitHub. And if we go to our, I hope I don't get lost again. Yeah, let me Control Alt print screen. Let me replace this one with this one right here. This is where we're supposed to be. Actually, Control Alt, Control V. So this is where we're supposed to be. All right. Yeah, fun, fun, fun. Okay. The light bulb, people, the light bulb. 99 ways of how not to build a light bulb. That's what we learned. Okay. So so if we go to GitHub, right? Where's one of my Visual Studios? And we go over here. We don't have GitHub installed in here. That's because we don't have a repository here. No version control. So we're gonna probably add one later. All right, so let's go ahead and keep reading over here because I want to be able to do this here. Here. Okay, so where does it tell me to create where does it tell me to create that file? Connect the skills to your local context, right? So in VS Code, create a file name, right? Okay, great. So this is where it tells us to do that, right? This is completely fair call out. Okay, why did we start with installing Motions? Great. So I prompted him that why are we installing Motion AI kits? Basically, the whole point was so it could help us create motions at a professional level or at a pro level, you know. Or if you ask me, this is just them making money by advertising this product. That's fine. That's none of my business, right? So, okay, my business is this. Okay, this is a complete fair call out. I jumped straight into treating the Motion AI kit as software you needed to install rather than focusing on what you actually want. Understanding how a skill prompt itself is built, structure, and trigger. Let's strip away the installation talk. A motion skill or a skill prompt is simply a structured block of markdown text that you feed into an AI's memory. It teaches the AI a permanent set of rules so it acts like an expert. Okay, so here's the step-by-step tutorial on how to actually design, write, and activate a skill prompt from scratch using VS Code and GitHub Copilot to animate your local. Right, we're gonna animate this over here. Where did I put it? Let me look at my VS Code. How many do I have open? I only have one open. Oh, this is it. Mini shop. We're gonna animate it. That's what it's called here. Mini shop live server HTML. Again, if I right click, I know this is repetitive, guys. I'm sorry, but when you're doing 10 things at the same time, it could be quite exhausting. Just looking at my OBS screen over here on my left, on my right monitor. Everything looks good. No problems there. We're still connected. So this is what we're gonna make. We're gonna add some a skill prompt or emotion skills, right? That's gonna be our guinea pig. For lack of a better word. So talk about that, right? You see, it moved again to that specific place, which they moved there again. Let me look. Okay, so this is where we are. Great. Let me see the others. See, it always moves back to that place. All of them, they all move back to that specific place. So this is where I'm at. Okay, great. So create, this is where we start creating. Create the skill blueprint, the prompt markdown. A good skill prompt tells the AI who it is, what role it must follow, and how to handle code performance. So inside of VS Code, create a file name. So we're gonna create this file name. And to create a file, see, it keeps going back over there. But I'm gonna close this window. I'm gonna close all my windows because I'm getting tired of this. I already did the paint thingy, right? Yeah, this is where we are. Over here. I'm gonna put we are here. Create Control Alt print screen. Control Alt Control V. Control O Control V. Uh-oh. Okay, great. So this is where we at. Create a skill blueprint. Okay. The prompt one. Okay. So let me close all my browsers because they're driving me crazy. I'm just gonna right click over here, and this took like always, these little mistakes take sometimes, as you can see, we're going close to an hour trying to fix this, right? So that's fine. Live and learn, no? And that's what we're doing here. We're learning. That's fine. No pain, no gain. And we got to put up a good fight because if we give up, we get knocked down. We don't get back up. We're not gonna make it. So I'm going back. I'm going back to the battlefield. Let's go. So I'm gonna click on my user account. I believe it's this one. And we're gonna go to Gemini. Got it. All right. So we're gonna go to Gemini, and we're gonna open the prompt that we were working on, and which is this one. And let's see if this douchebag keeps doing that. And we're gonna go back up to where we were supposed to, where we start. And I want to see what happens if I do something like this, and then I do this. I'm still connected, right? Oh, why is this guy still open on this end? Now let's say I go to like 30, and then I go back over here. Let me go over here, and then over here, and then over here, and then over here, and then click, let's say here. And then I go back over here. Okay, it didn't move, but if I open a chat over here, right? And then I go back over here, go over here. Let's say I click in here. This is troubleshooting, people. This is debugging. And I go over here. Okay, so it hasn't moved back to that stupid place again. Or did it? Oh. Well, at least let me look at my paint. See, I'm trying to look at this over here, but my paint didn't capture that. See, it doesn't have the scroll bar. I keep calling it a cursor. It doesn't have the scroll bar. So I can't see exactly where I'm at. Even if I press 11, F11 full screen, it doesn't show me where I'm at. But I do know, and I wish I could just press Control F here somewhere, but that doesn't work for. See, it doesn't. It only searches here. And if I prompt them, I just say on this page here, how can I search Gemini? How can I search? And I think I've done this multiple times. How can I search Gemini chat panel? Finding past conversations. No recent chat. Search those three icon. If you don't see the chat you're looking for, click activities. Right. Searching text within the current. Right. On Windows. Right. That's what I'm doing. This opens your browser's building, allowing you to. That's not true. Click sidebar toggle. If your sidebar is hidden and you can't see your history at all, look for a menu icon in the top left. Clicking it will expand the panel so you can browse your chats. Yeah, well, that doesn't work. Control F does not work. Control F does not work. See? Let me tell him, maybe they'll fix it. I got it. It's pulling up the search bar is usually because the browser focus is trapped inside specific text box or the quick fix. Click empty space. Click anywhere on the blank background of the Gemini page to take the cursor focus off of the. Then try use the browser menu. Click the three vertical in the very. Is there a find and edit? Let me see. There is no find and edit. This is very time consuming. All right, so again, let me look for that spot where we left off and create the skills blueprint. Now, this is the starting. It stopped moving. Uh-oh, I'm in the wrong. Let me close this one before I get confused again. I'm here. So let me see how to master. Okay, to truly master this, you need to start building your own library skills prompt. Here's a book: lock down your tech stack. Decide if your AI should always use a GSAP frame, motion, or tailwind utilities. Define your signature style. Write down your preferred sprints of physical durations over 6 seconds. Save it in the file system. Rules as an MD system prompt. Whenever you start your new, right? By doing this, you instantly bypass the generic AI look and force the model to build websites that look like they took weeks of custom building, coding. Okay. Okay, so this is the part where we jumped into Motion AI Kit because I prompt them or use toolkit like the Motion AI Kit directly in your environment. What do you mean? The VS Code extension. So we could skip that. Can you make it? No, that see then I prompt them to make the tutorial which I showed you in my my VS Code. So we don't need any of this because we're not using Motion AI because we can't afford it. No, you're not giving me tutorial. You're giving me a voiceover, and then I asked them to stop giving me a voiceover or a transcript that I have to read word by word. Install the local extension and ID integration. Motion AI Kit. Nope, we have to skip that. Define a local rule in your workspace. Nope, we don't need to define any rules. Execute a custom trigger. Nope, we don't have to worry about that either. By the way, I'm using VS Code Copilot. Great. Go to Extension Marketplace. We found it. I installed it. It was asking me for money. I cannot afford it. Feed the motion skill context to Copilot. So that's one of the. Let me look at the next prompt. You cannot use the official, right? Let me look at the next prompt. Why did we start? Yeah, this one. This is, yeah, so this is the part where I was like, why are we doing this? Inside VS Code, create a file name. So let's create this file name, right? So I know I could just prompt my AI to do this for me. Can you create this? The problem is that we need GitHub installed. So we don't have it installed. Let me see. So he says here, found, oh, okay. So he did. Great. So he says here, I'll create the GitHub Copilot instructions MD file now with a practical starter template so Copilot behavior is consistent in this repo. I'm first checking whether the file already exists to avoid overwriting anything. So he searches, right? No matches. I confirm the file doesn't exist. So I am creating it now with reusable repo instructions focused on your transcript workflow and Sandbox conventions. So he created it. Let's see. Oh, successfully added a practical starter set covering repos, original flow, beginner friendly, live server, safe editing behaviors. If you want, I can tighten up the further. Let's keep it and let's look at what's inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. My wife interrupted again. So let's look inside. This repository is a learning workspace with JavaScript, CSS, and transcript-driven tutorial content. Primary folder. Starter, okay. Token sandbox for runnable sandbox experiment. So we have to replace this with this, all right? Copilot automatically reads this file to learn new skills. Inside, we write the blueprint. So we're gonna copy this. We're gonna replace this, overwrite it. Control V. Now we're gonna save it. And after we save it, connect the skills to your local context. Now that the skill definition lives in your workspace, you need to point GitHub Copilot to your local file so it combines the skills with your page layout. Open your file in the VS Code. So file in VS Code so it's active on screen. Open the Copilot chat sidebar, and then we're going to type workspace command. This forces Copilot to look at your project file, specifically picking up the animation rules you wrote in step 1. Okay, this is definitely step 1. Okay, great. So let's go to our project, which is here, and then we're gonna type at workspace, right? And I wonder why. Let's see. It gives me that information here. I don't see anything here that says at workspace. So let's go over here. Over here, V and enter maybe. This forces Copilot to look at your project specifically, picking up animation rules. So execute using a custom trigger. Okay. So I was supposed to do this. So this is where your custom pipeline kicks off. You don't write a massive essay explaining what you want. You just state the target goal and use your custom command to activate the routine. In Copilot chat box, type this without the make them guideline to view dynamically original flow. So let's see. Look at the item cards in mini shop live. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see what happens because I'm like, I'm why are the quotes there? I'm full of surprises. Like nothing can surprise. Let's see. And type. Let me see. I'm gonna ask him. Should I type the quotes with the quotes? shift enter with the quotes. No, don't include the quotes. Okay, exactly. So why are you putting the quotes there? Whatever. Control Alt, Control V. I already knew that. Enter. Let's see what happens. I'm going to inspect the current mini shop file first and add a smooth glide into view animation for the item card and keep it transcript friendly under your original flow transcript workflow. I found the file currently has a single demo card, no item card listed yet, so I'm adding smooth product grid plus in view glide animation with reduce motion support so the card animates dynamically as they enter the viewport. I added the item cards and wired an intersection observer based glide in effect with a stagger and reduce motion fallback. I'll do a quick error check on the file. Implemented the item cards now glide into view dynamically with a staggered reveal. What I changed, added an item card grid section. Added an intersection observer logic in JavaScript so cards animate when entering view. Okay, so let's see what it looks like now. I'm gonna right click and open. Oh, okay, so what is supposed to do? View? View? Okay, so he just added more information. So added an item card grid section under the action buttons. Added card animation styles. Start state lower position plus. Let me see. Added intersection object flow. So let me see. Okay, so that's what it does. That's what's going on. I mean, come on, guys. Like, really? It's it. Like, we could do this with simple CSS. That's 106 lines of code. Hmm. He created a role called item grid, another one called item card, another one called item view, another one called item name, item price, item card. And then he added it to, he added a new section with the class item grid with area label. This is for assistive. This is assistive attribute, people with disability, right? For the screen readers. He added an article, class item card. He created a container. Inside the container, we got the notebook with $12, wireless mouse. Okay. We could have done a lot better, guys. We could have done a lot better. And then he created the actual actions. He created a variable called item cards, and then we selected the item card, right? And then reduce motion, windows not match media. He's using a function called match media. I think this is the method because it has an object. Right? This is a method. Let me ask him. Is this a method or a function? In your line window is an object is a function stored that object. When you call it through the object, it is called a method. So technically, self is a function value. Windows dot it is using that function as a method of window. Okay, so it's a method. Add in your code is property read from the media query list results. So itself is a function, but with window dot match media is window dot match media is using that function as a method. Okay, so I'm close. So we're close, right? Let me close this. So again, the Windows uses match media. Prefer reduce motion reduce. That matches. If reduce motion, item cars dot for each car that class list dot add in view. Else, so in view is obviously one of the CSS properties or attributes. Let me do this. In view, nope. Right here. Well, let me close this one. Fine. Right. So we have opacity and item card dot in view. So card dot class list and it adds in view. Else, if it's true, prefer reduce motion. And then for each car, do this opacity thing. You know, it slides in with the opacity. Observer, then an observe intersection observer. This is built-in method. Interface of the insertion observer API provides a way to synchronously observe changes in the intersection of a target element with an ancestor element or with a top-level document viewport. The ancestor element or viewport is referred to as the root. All right, I'm not going to go deep into this function. That's fine. So we managed to get the skill to work. However, what was the end game, right? We created the blueprint over here. Okay, we created the blueprint over here. Max this out. So the skill filters the output. So this is what happens when we prompt him this skill right here. Added hover animation to the product card. Did he let me see what my Copilot told me here. If you want, I can next convert this exact change into an original flow transcript block and append it to your starter lesson files. Okay, so let's keep here. The skill filters the output. Copilot recognizes the trigger phrase, looks at your HTML structures, and checks its custom rulebook. Instead of guessing or writing a simple change, the card's width on hover, which lags the page. The skill forces Copilot to output a highly efficient transform scale 1.1, 1.1.5 transform transition with a buttery smooth custom cubic buttery smooth. Yeah, let me see. I want to see how buttery this is. Yeah, not as buttery as I expected it to be, but it's buttery, I guess. Okay, so no, do not. Okay, okay. This tells Copilot to look at your logo project files instead of giving you a generic internet code. Targets the exact page is your custom trigger phrase that activates your present animation skills rule. Who told them to use this phrase though? Did it? I hope it didn't override my triggers. List my show my triggers. Let me hit yes. So, hello. Okay. So he didn't change it. Weird. Let me go back over here. I wonder. Okay, so now I gotta look for this where we left off. Okay, so this is what we created. A good scope prompt tells the, okay, so let me see. Let me look at this over here. Style and math rules. Okay, great. So connect the skills to your local context. And we did this. And here we are. How the skill processes your request. Behind the scenes, because you coupled your layout with the workspace rules and hit your trigger, Copilot executes like this. It sees workspace and reference your active HTML structure. It loops in your senior motion designer skill parameters. It filters its code generation only through your performance guardrails. Instead of a generic CSS code, Copilot will instantly output clean, high performance CSS or lightweight JavaScript animation using staggered delays and optimum browser transforms, ready for you to save and refresh on your live server page. So what's the difference? So we read this before, right? When you created the custom skill for GitHub Copilot for you build it using four structure pillars: role, context, constraint, and triggers. Here is the exact formula to master how they work. You build it using for structure pillar. Row context. Constraint and triggers. Here is exact form. How it functions when you use it on your local page. When you open Copilot VS Code and look at your file menu, the extension reads the workspace. Copilot silently scans for your project and loads right file into the background memory. It now possesses the skill. You can trigger. You type your request into the chat box along with your keyword phrase. I don't like the fact that it's using original flow transcript. The skill filters the output. Copilot recognizes the trigger phrase, looks at your HTML structure, and checks its custom rulebook. Instead of guessing or writing a simple change to the card's width and hover, the skill forces Copilot to output efficient transform. Right. So that's it, folks. We learned how to create a skills prompt. So what's next? Now that you have the plain text ready, here's how you test it out and see your motion skills work in real time, right? Copy the text, paste it in the VS, right? Review. Copilot will read the workspace. It should give you a clean snippet of CSS transition smooth, right? Check your watch the product cards closely as the page reloads. They should glide elegantly into view. Did Copilot generate the code correctly based on the trigger? Yes, it did, but
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. Just to let you know, I can't actually generate a podcast while we're speaking in voice.
really,
But if you want to end our voice conversation, I can definitely do that for you. Let me know.
all of a sudden you working?
Absolutely, I'm always here and ready to help. Just let me know what you need.
Yeah, my co-pilot is actually working all over a sudden, but he's working on my other laptop. On this laptop, he's not working at all. Mm, so it says you are an expert at writing performance first web animation. Never use robotic linear timing. Always use smooth spring physics or custom cubic. All right. So they animate one after another. Never animate properties that cause browsers layout shift. Right. Always animate hardware accelerated properties. So it's so I mean, guys, I don't even know where to start with this. Like we created a skill, group B, and to say the truth, the output wasn't exactly. I've seen, I've seen, I've seen him do better with SAS, CSS, such as my site. If I didn't corrupt it by now, my site has all this stuff. It's running a little slow right now. It should be a lot quicker than that. See, my site has all types of things here. You see, and it's not running as smooth as I want it to run. And it's because I have all these applications open at the same time. All right, guys, let me close this. All right, thank you for joining me in this video. I'll see what I come up with next, and I'll see you guys in the next video in the next live stream. Oh, shit. Okay. Can we improve this motion skills? And can we test it on I'm not sure what else we can add. Maybe a nav bar. I'm still live. I thought I turned it off. Hmm. Oh, I'm still live.